Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? I'm so excited, man. September 30th can't get here fast enough. We just had the first press conference for JERMELL CHARLO versus CANELO ALVAREZ. Two undisputed fighters in two different weight classes going head to head with Canelo's undisputed title on the line. JERMELL CHARLO has an opportunity to be, on that night, the only fighter in history to be undisputed in two weight classes at the same time. Shit crazy, man. Shit crazy. Just my quick review on the first press conference. First and foremost, shout out to Team Charlo, Derek James, Joanne Guzman. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso. It's a high level of respect between both camps. I think they both understand what they getting into. Even though JERMELL CHARLO is coming up in weight, jumping two weight classes, never fought at 160, never fought at 168. Even though that's an obvious, factor in this fight, there's a high level of respect coming from Canelo's camp when it comes to JERMELL CHARLO. Time after time referred to him as a great fighter. They know and understand the skill and ability of JERMELL CHARLO. Even mention the fact that, with him coming up in weight, they know that he have the power to end the fight at any moment. They know what he brings to the table. And, I think this is going to be more of a challenge for Canelo than people think. A lot of respect coming from JERMELL CHARLO's camp for Canelo Alvarez because they understand also what they getting in the ring with. They know that Canelo Alvarez been a top 5 fighter in the game over the last 10 years. Consistently, they said that they put out a stat that I thought was incredible, that Canelo Alvarez has faced a champion at least once in the last 10 years, once every year in the last 10 years, which is incredible. That shows you, even though, I've been on record and said that Canelo Alvarez has been masterful when it comes to strategically picking fights, but you do still have to give him credit for the level of competition and the names that he's been in the ring with. The guy has an abundance of experience. So, Charlo and them, they know what they getting in the ring with. They getting in the ring with a great fighter, one of the best counter punchers in the sport, a guy who's one of the pound for pound, one of the hardest punchers, strong, great chin. We never seen Canelo on the canvas. We never really seen him hurt bad. We only seen him hurt one time, and that was way early in his career. JERMELL CHARLO has been down before in his career on the flash knockdown, but we never really seen JERMELL CHARLO like stunned or hurt. You feel what I'm saying? So, and JERMELL CHARLO has beat every fighter that he's faced. Lost to Tony Harrison, came back, got it in blood, and stopped him. Every fighter on his resume, JERMELL CHARLO has beat. And man, this is gonna be a great fight. Just some of the things that stood out to me outside of the high level of respect that both camps have for each other. JERMELL CHARLO said, "Hey man, look, I'm fully aware that I'm moving up two weight classes. So all the people and all the naysayers that saying I ain't got no chance because of the inactivity and me moving up in weight, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit because I'm daring to be great. You know what I'm saying? This shit different. I'm putting on for the family. He trying to feed the family. They gonna get a bag, of course, and he trying to build up the legacy for himself and for his family. And he's aware of the challenge of moving up in weight. And one of the things that stood out was JERMELL CHARLO kept referencing being intelligent. He also said, of course, hey, I'm willing to put it all on the line, and if I gotta lay down in that motherfucker, I ain't coming to lay down. Let's get that straight. I ain't coming to lay down or fold or none of that. But I'm willing to, whatever happened in there, that's what's gonna happen. I'm with all that. You feel me? But one thing that JERMELL CHARLO said time after time is we gonna be intelligent in that ring, and that lets me know. He also talked about when Brian Custer asked him, "What do you think? Like, why are you gonna win this fight?" And he, talked about his attributes. The lateral movement, the speed and the power. You know what I'm saying? The intelligence. I think JERMELL CHARLO is going to box his ass off in this fight. I think coming off of, even though he's been inactive, coming off of that Brian Castano, that second fight with Brian Castano, the way he put it all together, the lateral movement, the counter punching, the punching in between shots, the ability to get off of the ropes when you need to, because that's going to be important in this fight. Canelo going to try to corner him and get him on the ropes. That's where he's going to be able to do most of his work. And JERMELL CHARLO was able to fight off the ropes and turn Castano when he needed to. Now, keep in mind, Castano is as far as foot speed and athleticism, he's got more foot speed, activity, and athleticism than Canelo. Canelo don't be moving like that with his feet. Now, he good at cornering you and walking you down and moving his head, coming forward and countering, making you miss and making you pay. But he don't, his feet ain't fast like that. So JERMELL CHARLO being able to move and maneuver like he did versus a more athletic guy with Castano, him putting it all together in that fight, I see him being able to have some success, at minimum, some success with lateral movement versus Canelo Alvarez, man, and using his jab, boxing, being very sharp and intelligent, which is what he's going to have to be. We're going to have to see the very best JERMELL CHARLO. All the tools going to have to come out on September 30th. I'm talking about the jab got to be sharp, the defense, the head movement, the footwork got to be sharp. Everything got to be sharp, and he going to have to be active in this fight, because if it come down to him having to go to the cards with Canelo, Canelo win a lot of fights by just being more accurate, landing the harder, more effective shots. JERMELL CHARLO going to have to be more accurate and active with his jab and his power shots as well. One of the interesting things about this fight is, how does JERMELL CHARLO deal with the power of a true 168-pounder like Canelo Alvarez? That's a question. Another question is, can JERMELL CHARLO garner enough respect from Canelo Alvarez with his power? Can he hurt him? Those are two big questions that need to be answered in this fight that's going to really determine the outcome of this fight. Canelo Alvarez, I know, we know what he going to do. He going to come forward. He going to use his head movement, be very slick up top. Not a lot of movement down below, but very slick up top, making you make mistakes, putting mental and physical pressure on you, making you make mistakes. And sometimes JERMELL CHARLO can get a little wild with the left hook, with the overhand right. Sometimes he can get a little, wild and reckless in there. Can't do that versus Canelo, because he gonna be coming forward, ain't gonna waste no punches, and everything he throw gonna be meaningful. Everything he throw gonna be sharp. You know what I'm saying? So, if JERMELL CHARLO make too many mistakes, it's over with. Because one of them shots, he going to get caught out of position, missing big, and get hit with something nasty. He got to be super sharp. We know what Canelo going to do. He not finna change up nothing. He going to come forward, use the jab to the head and to the body, head movement, make you miss, make you pay, and try to get you in a spot where you can't move around and fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? And JERMELL CHARLO just got to be in great shape. I don't think he's gonna bulk up in this fight to try to get all big and buff and shit. That wouldn't be the smart thing to do. I think he fights closer to his walk around weight. It's easy for him to make 54, so I think he comes in maybe like 165, something like that. Real simple, real slight, leaned up and toned up, in great shape, stamina on point. So you got, I think JERMELL CHARLO gonna have to be in 15-round shape for this fight, because he gonna have to move, but use that jab and be a boxer puncher, not just a boxer, not just a puncher. To beat Canelo, you got to be a boxer puncher. What Floyd was when he fought him. Floyd wasn't just no boxer. Floyd stood right there in spots in that fight, right in front of Canelo, made him miss and made him pay. Now, that ain't necessarily JERMELL CHARLO's style, but Floyd was a boxer puncher with Canelo. Played great defense. He moved when he needed to move, and he stood his ground and hit and landed good and sharp, meaningful shots. That's where Erislandy Lara fucked up. He played too much defense. He was too much of a boxer, not enough of a puncher. Dimitri Bivol, boxer puncher. He played his defense, used his jab, but he also stood his ground when he needed to to let that jab off and let that right hand off. You got to be a boxer puncher with Canelo. You can't be too much on one side or too much on the other side, because if you too much of a puncher, he gonna whoop your ass because you ain't got enough defense and you ain't boxing enough. If you too much of a boxer, you gonna lose on the cards anyway because you ain't doing enough work on offense to win no rounds on Canelo. Because he ain't wasting no punches. Everything he throwing is sharp, accurate, and he making it count. You feel me? So this is gonna be a great fight, man. I think this shit gonna be, this shit gonna be way better than what a lot of people think, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. This is just my initial, this is my review on the first press conference. It's just dope to see them, face to face for the first time. Of course, JERMELL CHARLO is, the longer guy. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo is the sturdier guy and the more natural 168 pounder. JERMELL look like he in great shape, looking strong. So it's just gonna be, it's a lot of interesting factors in this fight. But the two main things is, how does JERMELL deal with Canelo's power? And can JERMELL hurt Canelo and make him respect him? Those are two answers. Those are two biggest questions for me. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the press conference. What stood out to you, man? Drop it down in the comments. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.